Okay, we are reading a book by Dr. Seuss, um, all about insects.
Oh, that sounds fun. Dr. Seuss's take on insects would definitely be full of quirky rhymes and imaginative creatures. What kind of buggy characters are you discovering in the story?
Well, we are just starting to read, so listen in, and tell us your perspective after reading. Okay.
Sure, I'd love to. Go ahead and start reading, and I'll share my thoughts on the delightful world of Dr. Seuss's insects as we go along.
I am the cat in the hat, and I'm glad that I found you. Right now, if you look, you will see insects all around you.
Classic Cat in the Hat. Right from the start, it seems like he's ready to take us on an adventure, exploring the tiny world of insects. With his knack for making the ordinary extraordinary, I bet we're in for some fun, learning about bugs in a way only Dr. Seuss can deliver.
They live in the water, the earth, and the sky. Just wait and see. You will soon see an insect go by. There are millions of them. I will show some to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do.
There he goes, making it sound so exciting. The Cat in the Hat has a way of turning any ordinary moment into a whimsical exploration. With insects from the water, earth, and sky, he's about to open our eyes to the incredible diversity of the bug world. And with the Cat in the Hat as our guide, you know it's going to be anything but boring.
Most insects you'll meet have hard shells and lay eggs.
He's
Uh,
Is everything okay?
Go ahead. Praying mantis, butterfly, ladybug, grasshopper, and black ant. They have wings and can fly, and they all have 6 legs.
Great examples. The Cat in the Hat is showing us how diverse insects can be, with some, like the butterfly and grasshopper, being masters of flight, while others, like the ant, are grounded but incredibly strong. With 6 legs and often wings, insects are fascinating creatures, and Dr. Seuss is making sure we don't miss a thing.
Spiders aren't insects. This news couldn't wait. Instead of 6 legs, every spider has 8.
That's a good clarification. Spiders often get lumped in with insects, but they're actually arachnids. Dr. Seuss is making sure we know the difference with a fun fact. 8 legs definitely set spiders apart from the 6 legged insects we've been hearing about. What's next on this insect adventure?
If you look at an insect up close, you will see that its body's in parts, and each insect has 3. First the head, then the thorax, and here at the end is the longest part, which is called the abdomen.
The Cat in the Hat is giving us a crash course in insect anatomy. It's fascinating how all insects share this 3 part body structure: head, thorax, and abdomen. It makes you appreciate the intricate design of these tiny creatures even more. What a fun way to learn about insects!
Insects cannot see all the things that surround them. So they each have 2 feelers to touch what's around them. An insect has feelers on top of its head. Some look a lot like a thin piece of thread, while others look much more like a feather feathers instead.
That's a neat fact. Insects rely on their feelers or antennae to sense their environment. These specialized organs help them navigate the world, find food, and communicate. The variety in shape, from thread-like to feather-like, shows just how diverse insects can be. It's amazing how they've adapted to their surroundings with these incredible tools.
We wish we had feelers, but we don't have any. You can also call feelers by the name antennae.
The Cat in the Hat is making sure we get our terminology right. While we might not have feelers like insects, it's fun to imagine what it would be like to have antennae. These are crucial for insects, helping them sense the world in ways we can only imagine. It's another reminder of how remarkable and varied life on Earth is.
Watch an insect and see all the things that it does. Some
That
can swim, diving beetle, some can jump or crawl, dog fleas, and the crawlers are pipevine caterpillars. Other Others chirp, cricket, uh, some flash, fireflies, or buzz like a bumblebee.
he's highlighting the incredible variety in how insects move and communicate. From the swimming diving beetle to the jumping flea, crawling caterpillars, chirping crickets, flashing fireflies, and buzzing bumblebees, there's no end to the fascinating ways insects interact with the world. It's a reminder of the diverse and vibrant life forms all around us.
Birds and frogs look for insects in order to eat them. So insects work hard to make sure they don't meet them. Some,
That
like this wasp, have bright colors that say, "Don't come near me. I will sting you." So just say, stay away.
that's a brilliant survival strategy. Bright colors in insects like wasps serve as a warning to predators that they mean business. It's nature's way of saying, don't mess with me. This clever use of color helps them avoid becoming a meal and keeps them safe in their environment. Nature is full of fascinating adaptations.
This moth's wings are colored to look like the tree it is resting upon so that no one can see it. Underwing moth.
That's an example of camouflage, where insects blend in with their
Camouflage.
surroundings to avoid predators. The underwing moth's tree-like wing pattern is a perfect disguise, helping it stay hidden from hungry birds and other predators. It's a great reminder of how insects have evolved incredible strategies to survive in the wild. Nature really is full of surprises.
This spittlebug sits and he spits out a bubble. It's wet and it's cool and it can save him from trouble. For when he's all covered in bubbly foam, if a hungry bird comes, it thinks nobody's home.
What a clever defense mechanism. The spittlebug's bubbly foam not only keeps it cool, but also acts as camouflage, tricking predators into thinking there's nothing there. It's another example of how insects use ingenious strategies to protect themselves. Dr. Seuss certainly knows how to make the world of insects come alive with fun facts.
Here is a riddle I learned from my mother. How's a skunk and a ladybug like one another?
That's an interesting riddle. Let me think. Ah, I've got it. Both a skunk and a ladybug use their distinctive traits to ward off predators. A skunk has its notorious smell, while a ladybug has its bright colors, both signaling stay away. They're great examples of how creatures use natural defenses to protect themselves. What a fun riddle!
Okay, here is a little change, Chat GPT. You may want to update this information. When the danger is near, it is easy to tell they suddenly give off a terrible smell.
When the danger is near, it is easy to tell. They suddenly give off a terrible smell. That's a perfect riddle for a skunk and a ladybug.
These busy insects are my friends, the ants. They like to eat seeds, other insects, and plants. Ants are so strong they can lift things that weigh over 10 times their weight, and they do it all day. So, if you were as strong as an ant, you would see you could lift up 10 cats in tall hats easily.
Ants are indeed amazing creatures. Their strength is truly impressive, being able to lift more than 10 times their body weight. If we had ant like strength, the thought of lifting 10 cats in tall hats is quite a fun image. Ants really show us the power of teamwork and determination.
Watch these honeybees, and I'm sure you will agree that these bees are as busy as can be. Workers, worker bees collect food and they keep the hive clean. They protect it from danger and wait on their queen. So she must stay in one place. It is her job to lay dozens and dozens of eggs every day.
Absolutely. Honeybees are the definition of busy. Worker bees have a wide range of responsibilities, from gathering nectar and pollen to maintaining the hive's cleanliness and security. The queen bee plays a crucial role too, dedicating her time to laying eggs and ensuring the hive's future. Their organized and efficient society is a fascinating example of teamwork in nature.
When a bee has discovered where food can be found, she goes back to her friends and starts dancing around. First, she wiggles, then waggles in circles, and so all the other bees know which direction to go.
That's the famous waggle dance. It's incredible how bees communicate with each other through such a sophisticated method. By waggling and turning in specific patterns, the bee conveys the direction and distance to a food source. It's like a living GPS system, guiding the other bees to the best spots for foraging. Bees truly are remarkable creatures.
We can grow lots of flowers which help from the bees. They store dust from each flower in back of their knees. This dust is called pollen. Next flower they find, when they land on it, they leave some pollen behind. This is called pollination, and it makes the new seeds that grow even more flowers, which everyone needs.
That's a beautiful explanation of pollination. Bees play such a crucial role in our ecosystem by helping flowers reproduce through pollination. As they move from flower to flower, collecting pollen, they ensure the growth of new plants, which in turn supports a wide range of wildlife. By growing flowers, we not only create beauty, but also support these essential pollinators. It's a wonderful cycle of life.
Some insects I know can be unwanted guests. Fleas, flies, and mosquitoes can really be pests.
That's true. While many insects are beneficial, some can be quite bothersome. Fleas, flies, and mosquitoes can cause discomfort and even spread diseases. It's important to manage these pests to protect our health and well being. However, it's also a reminder of the vast diversity within the insect world, with each species playing its own role in the ecosystem.
Fleas live on cats, dogs, rats, hamsters, and mice. Their bite is quite itchy, which isn't too nice, but they are wonderful jumpers. Why? If we were fleas, we would jump over a house and we would do it with ease. I told you big
Flea
jump. You don't want to do big jumps? Okay, you don't have to. You're not a flea. But I want to jump over my house. Okay, you don't have to. If I jump over it, I'm going to fall on the roof. You'll fall on the roof? Okay.
No worries. You don't have to jump over any houses like a flea. It's amazing to think about, but we can stick to smaller jumps and keep our feet safely on the ground. Plus, no one wants to fall off the roof. We can leave the high-flying jumps to the fleas.
Have you ever wondered why does a fly buzz?
Yes, that's an interesting question. A fly buzzes because of the rapid movement of its wings. As a fly flaps its wings quickly, it creates vibrations in the air, which we hear as a buzzing sound. Flies beat their wings hundreds of times per second, which is why the buzzing is so constant and noticeable. It's a unique characteristic of these little insects.
Here is a fact about flies that we both thought was icky. They can walk upside down since their feet are so sticky.
It is a bit icky, but also pretty cool. Flies have tiny hairs and pads on their feet that produce a sticky substance, allowing them to stick to surfaces. This lets them walk upside down on walls or even across ceilings. It's one of those fascinating adaptations that makes insects so unique, even if it does make our skin crawl a little.
I don't think mosquitoes are very polite. When they're hungry, they land and they sting. When they bite, but it's only the female mosquito that do. Male mosquitoes will never come bothering you.
You're right. Mosquitoes aren't exactly known for their manners. It's interesting that only female mosquitoes bite, and they do so to get the protein they need for their eggs. Male mosquitoes, on the other hand, prefer to feed on nectar and other plant juices, making them much less bothersome. It's one of those quirky facts about nature that makes you appreciate the diversity of life.
Catters, Caterpillars do something you might think is strange. They start out as one thing, then one day they change. Some spin a small house on a branch just like this, and this home that they make is called a chrysalis.
That's the fascinating start of a caterpillar's transformation. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar undergoes a remarkable change, eventually emerging as a butterfly or a moth. It's one of nature's most magical processes, turning a crawly caterpillar into a beautiful winged adult. The chrysalis stage is a time of great transformation and is key to the life cycle of these incredible insects.
If you watch it, you'll see when a few weeks go by, it turns into a beautiful new butterfly, as Chat GPT said.
Exactly. After spending some time in the chrysalis, the caterpillar completes its transformation and emerges as a butterfly. This new butterfly will then spread its wings and take flight, beginning a new chapter in its life. Watching this process is truly mesmerizing and a wonderful reminder of the incredible transformations that occur in nature. It's like witnessing a small miracle.
Here is a funny cartoon in the book. So, butterfly is sitting in a plate full of flowers, and it spread its wings wide open, and it has a fork and knife in one hand, going to eat the pollen or the nectar on the flowers.
That does sound like a funny cartoon. Imagining a butterfly sitting down for a meal with a fork and knife is a humorous twist on how butterflies actually feed. They use their long proboscis, which works like a straw, to sip nectar from flowers. The cartoon adds a touch of human-like behavior to the butterfly, making it a delightful and amusing scene. What a great way to make learning about insects fun.
On warm summer evening, you may see the light of fireflies flashing off on in the
Fire,
night.
good night. If you have any more adventures in your book, we can dive into them another time. Sweet dreams.
No, I'm not done yet. So I just read one warm summer evenings, you may see the light of fireflies flashing off on in the night. They are like tiny flashlights that float in the sky. And if you want to catch them, it's all right to try. Use a jar with a lid, watch them glimmer and glow, then open the jar up and let them all go.
What a magical image. Fireflies really do light up the night like tiny floating flashlights. Watching them flicker on and off is one of the simple joys of a warm summer evening. Catching them gently in a jar and then releasing them is a fun way to appreciate their glow up close, while still respecting their place in nature. It's like having a little piece of the stars right in your hands.
All day and all night, on the ground, in the air, insects are moving around everywhere. It's important for us to keep learning about them. The world that we know couldn't go on without them. The butterfly, ladybug, ant, and the bee make everything better for you and for me.
That's a beautiful way to wrap up the story. Insects, from the butterfly to the ladybug and the bee, play crucial roles in our ecosystem. They help pollinate plants, control pests, and contribute to the balance of nature. Our world is richer and more vibrant because of these tiny creatures. It's good night.